Hey, wouldn't you know, there's another leaked documentation that talks about the Xbox Series S specs and what the developers are given so they can optimize for not only that console, but also the Xbox Series X. And from what this documentation is saying, the Xbox Series S might actually be able to perform at a higher resolution, not to mention have an equal performance on the CPU side that the Xbox Series X does. There's a lot of information in this leak, and I wanted to tackle all of it because we know that the Xbox July event is just around the corner and they might announce the console there, even though I think that event will surround the games and only the games. So I have a feeling they'll hold off on announcing the console, let alone a price, because they want to save that for August when the PlayStation 5's price is rumored to be announced. Either way, the Xbox Series S, or codenamed Lockhart, is going to be a critical part to the Xbox's next generation marketing, because this console is not only rumored to be half the price of the Xbox Series X, but it's also something that Microsoft could use to get a lot of the casual gamers into their ecosystem. So let's get into these rumors and the leaked documentation and talk about the specs that are going to be a part of this console, not to mention the strategy Xbox has in order for them to get this console in consumers' hands. I think a lot of the aspects, including the CPU capabilities, might surprise a lot of people, not to mention how they plan to launch this alongside the Xbox Series X. But first, like always, if you liked the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so right off the bat, I want to say that this Xbox Lockhart console has been shrouded in secrecy and hasn't been confirmed or talked about by Microsoft executives. But the evidence of its existence is starting to mount up, and with this new leaked documentation, it's just another piece of the puzzle. But what makes this leak drastically different is that it does put the CPU of the Lockhart at a different level. Usually people figured that the console will have a lower end GPU and CPU, not to mention less RAM. And how could we not think that, since the console is aiming to be a 1080p 60 FPS console? Oh, and did I mention that it's trying to be half the price of the Xbox Series X? So to meet all of these requirements, of course the console won't be near the powerhouse that the Xbox Series X is going to be, which the article points out here. Microsoft has been planning a second, cheaper, and less powerful next-gen Xbox console codenamed Lockhart. It's designed to take most of the key next-gen improvements found in the Xbox Series X and provide them at a lower price point for gaming at 1080p or 1440p. A newly leaked Microsoft document posted on Twitter includes references to this Lockhart console in multiple Project Scarlet consoles. You see, I've talked about the 1080p resolution mark that this console was going for, but I never figured this console would aim for a 1440p resolution, because I figured that would cost too much money, not to mention the specs might not be able to reach that resolution while also meeting the 60 FPS frames on the lower end CPU. That's what I figured until Tom Warren went on Twitter and talked about the Xbox Series S CPU and suggested that it might be the same as the Xbox Series X. Here's what he had to say. I've been reporting on Xbox Lockhart having a slightly underclocked CPU, but I now believe it's the same speed as the Series X, just different GPU frequencies and CU counts. Do you understand what that means? That means that the Lockhart will have a better CPU than the PS5. Now this changes a lot of what we thought about the Lockhart console, because for the longest time, we knew the console would have a much lower GPU delta spec compared to the Xbox Series X. But with the new graphical architecture, it would help be more powerful than the current generation consoles. But the big upgrade in this console would come from the CPU and the RAM, yet the CPU wouldn't be as powerful as the Xbox Series X would. But with this new documentation, not to mention Tom Warren saying it will have the same speeds, this can put the Lockhart as a console a lot of people can see a massive difference in their gaming. Not to mention it shows that Xbox isn't compromising on any of their hardware, even if it's the lower end spec of the console like the Lockhart. Which, if you ask me, the specs of this console from the leaked documentation is pretty amazing. Here's what the article has to say. The leaked documentation also mentions a Lockhart profiling mode. Sources familiar with the Microsoft's Xbox plan tell The Verge that this special Lockhart mode is part of the Xbox Series X developer kit. The dev kit, codenamed Dante, allows game developers to enable a special Lockhart mode that has a profile of the performance that Microsoft wants to hit with this second console. We understand that includes 7.5 GB of usable RAM, a slightly underclocked CPU speed, and around 4 teraflops of GPU performance. The Xbox Series X includes 13.5 GB of usable RAM and targets 12 teraflops of GPU performance. Now, I know a lot of people will think, what? 4 teraflops of power, that's 2 less than the Xbox One X. And that's true, but the difference is the new architecture the Xbox Series S will have. That plus all the pieces of the console put together will outperform the Xbox One X by so much, it's not even funny. But what stands out about this quote is the fact that a lot of developers are actually working on the console already. They have a setting on the Xbox dev kits that helps them optimize all of their games for the Lockhart in a blink of an eye. They just have to change the optimization and what console they're trying to code for. This also indicates that the Xbox One X consoles will be faded out quickly, and we will soon not have those consoles on store shelves. Instead, we will get the Xbox Series family of consoles, and people will decide which one they want to get. This will be a vital part of the Xbox's next generation console launch, which the article says here. While Microsoft hasn't acknowledged Lockhart, the codename can also be found in the company's Xbox One operating system, alongside references to Anaconda and Dante. We understand this second next-gen Xbox console will launch alongside the Xbox Series X, providing Microsoft doesn't cancel it at the last minute. Lockhart will likely be named Xbox Series S, which explains why Microsoft trademarked the Xbox Series branding. And when you throw in these new tests of the Xbox dev kit, it's looking like developers are already working on both next-generation consoles, which the article again says here. Developers will be able to use this Lockhart mode to test their games against this performance profile and do validation checks. Microsoft is expected to position its Lockhart console for 1080p or 1440p gaming, two of the most popular resolutions used by PC gaming monitors currently. This right here is what grabbed my attention the most, because while I know there's a lot of PC gamers out there that have these massive PC rigs that push the graphical power of every game they play, with that said, I know those people are the minority, and most PC gamers are playing their games at 1080p or even 1440p. So for the Xbox Series S to hit that mark does show that Xbox isn't just going for the people in the living room. Instead, they're going for people that have monitors that are 1440p or even 1080p. And the Lockhart could be that perfect console for them to transition to the Xbox ecosystem. Either way, it's a solid mark to hit, and I think that aiming for 1440p 60 FPS could be a massive advantage for Xbox, especially since the price of the console is rumored to be half the price of the Series X. And that pricing point will be one of the most critical aspects to launching the Xbox Series S, which the article explains here. This second Xbox console will be key to Microsoft's pricing strategy for the next generation of consoles. The company has already committed to introducing its Xbox All Access subscription for the Xbox Series X, a bundle that includes a console, Xbox Live, and Xbox Game Pass for a monthly fee. Xbox All Access is going to be critical to both our launch for Xbox Series X as well as just the overall generation, said Phil Spencer, Microsoft's Xbox chief, in a Game Lab live keynote earlier this week. I mean, we just had an interview with Phil Spencer, not to mention he's talked multiple times about the price of the consoles and how this new Xbox All Access subscription service will be a critical part of their console strategy. For someone to get a new console, not to mention Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass, a service with hundreds of games on it, for a monthly fee would be pretty awesome. But most of all, the Series S could be a pretty easy purchase for people, especially if they're only giving a small monthly fee to get the Xbox ecosystem experience. Not to mention, if the console's half the price of the Series X, it could be an impulse buy, like I've said in multiple videos before. And to complete this circle, the Xbox One S All Digital Edition subscription that Phil Spencer is talking about is currently at $19.99 a month. That's an insanely low price for someone to get their hands on a console, not to mention all the services and first-party games provided by Xbox. And that's where the Xbox Series S falls into place. It's the best value you can get for the next generation consoles. It gives you those amazing specs that the CPU will provide all of us, not to mention the upgrades in the GPU, the RAM, and of course the SSD. This console is starting to shape up into something that Xbox could use to really set themselves apart next generation. Do I think that they will announce the console soon? Maybe in August, but for me I have a feeling that Xbox will focus on the Xbox Series X, and why wouldn't they? It's going to be the standard setting console on the market and will play every single game better than the competition. That's why they keep Series X front and center, and once they get closer to finally releasing the price of the Series X, they will show the Series S and have it marketed as a console for the casual gamer that still wants the next generation experience. No matter how you cut it, Xbox has a pretty amazing strategy heading into the next console generation. I can't wait to see how everything unfolds, especially for the Xbox Series S. Let's hope Xbox can pull it off. But enough of what I think about all of this. Tell me what you think about all of this. Did the CPU power of the Series S surprise you? Is this a console you would actually buy? Do you think this could set Xbox apart from Sony's PS5 consoles? Do you have a 4K monitor with 120 FPS and HDR on it? Will this help developers push their product to more customers? Are you interested in the Xbox All Access subscription service? What games are you looking forward to playing on the next-gen consoles? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there. So get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I just finished The Last of Us Part 2. I enjoyed the game a lot, but I'm going to be making a review for it. I think I'm going to annoy a lot of people, but I'm also going to be in the middle. I don't know what to say about the game. I wanted to take a few days to make a review for it because I felt it deserved that. But after that, I think I'm going to jump back on Xbox, play some Star Wars, or play some other games. How about you? What is everybody playing? Are you guys going through your backlogs, or what's going on? Tell me what you guys are playing in the comment section. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.